So had a really cool use case of Chip for administration. And the one I wanted to showcase is this school, Ridgewood High School. And this is actually a client of one of our partners. So Growth AI Partners out of Chicago works with Ridgewood. And they had a challenge that I think a lot of schools have, which is a lot of our time is spent answering the phone, talking to parents about really basic stuff, right? So how do you cut administrative time, do more with less by using AI? And so what we have is Chip Chat that they're building out, which is just answering questions for parents about registration, about key deadlines, about what they need to know. It's multilingual because they have a large Spanish speaking population. And it was really easy to train because we just clicked add knowledge sources and we added their website. So you can see these are all the pages from their website. And so the funny part is like all of this information is already live. It's already there, but parents, and I'm guilty of this as well, they just don't look, right? And so giving them one place on the website, a little bubble that they can ask questions and find the answers is such a time saver. And I'll kind of show you the prompt. The prompt is, again, just an easy way to talk to an AI. And, we're making this a short responses, 3 to 5 sentences, like a text message. And we're welcoming them. We're reminding them to speak any language. And then we're always driving them to human support if they want it. So what we've typically seen is like 60 to 70% of questions just want AI. They just want the facts. And then, 30, 40% actually want to talk to somebody. And so this is a pretty easy prompt. We're just saying like, provide simple answers, ask questions they might want. If you don't know the answer, that's okay. Let them know you can look it up and then just keep engaging. And then everything we have here is just the attached URLs have all the details. So it's really a pretty simple prompt. Doesn't take long to build. And then you just add in the website. And then when you start having questions, like you can just have this conversation. So now parents can go there and they can ask questions about, when is registration for, 2025 or
Wow.
2025 school year, right? And you can even connect in private data, right? So if you wanted to have information about who made the junior varsity team or the varsity team, right? Like you can do all of that and it's going to be trained on the school's information. So that was just such a fun, simple, quick use case that actually is going to save their administrators like a ton of time.